In the 2010s, the Pentagon had a plan for Britain's Air Force, America's F-35 Lightning, the most advanced stealth fighter ever built. Fifth-generation technology, invisible to radar, perfect for modern warfare. Pentagon said to Britain, buy the F-35, replace your entire fleet, join the future. Britain listened. Britain bought the F-35. But Britain didn't do what Pentagon expected. Instead of replacing their aging Typhoon jets, Britain poured billions into upgrading them. New radars, new weapons, new avionics, complete modernization. The Pentagon watched in shock. Why would Britain keep an old fourth-generation jet when they could have the newest stealth fighter? Then the exercises happened. RAF Typhoons went up against American F-35s in wargames. The Typhoon won. Repeatedly, dominantly. Pilots found out the Pentagon's stealth jet couldn't keep up with Britain's upgraded non-stealth jet. In dogfights, the Typhoon's maneuverability was untouchable. The F-35's stealth became irrelevant when the Typhoon could outmaneuver it. Pentagon realized something shocking. They were wrong. Britain chose correctly. The Typhoon wasn't just a backup. The Typhoon became the primary defense for Britain's skies. The F-35 became secondary, a support platform, a weapons carrier, relegated to supporting the supposedly outdated Typhoon. This is the story of how Britain's flagship jet outclassed America's most expensive fighter and why Pentagon is secretly jealous. In the 2010s, the Pentagon had a grand vision: replace the world's air forces with the F-35. The F-35 represents a radical shift in military philosophy, stealth-first strategy, hide from enemy radar, never be seen, strike from invisible positions. The Pentagon spent $1.7 trillion developing the F-35. They believed this was the future of air combat. America wanted to export this vision globally, sell F-35s to every ally, replace aging jets, modernize air forces everywhere. Britain was a natural target. Britain's tornadoes were aging. RAF needed modernization. Pentagon said, buy F-35s, be part of the future. Britain agreed. Britain ordered F-35s for carrier operations. Britain committed to the stealth philosophy. But Britain also had a problem. Its Typhoon jets were still in service. The Typhoon was a fourth-generation fighter from the 1990s, not stealth, not fancy, but still relevant. The Pentagon's assumption was simple: Typhoons would retire, F-35s would replace them. Done. Britain had other ideas. Instead of retiring the Typhoon, Britain launched Project Centurion, a massive modernization program. Invest billions in upgrading the Typhoon to modern standards. New AESA radar, advanced electronically scanned array, better avionics, integration of cutting-edge weapons, Meteor air-to-air missiles, Brimstone anti-tank missiles, Storm Shadow cruise missiles. The Typhoon would become modern, not stealth, but devastatingly capable. The Pentagon didn't understand the decision. Why keep an old jet when stealth is the future? Britain understood something Pentagon missed. Stealth isn't everything. The F-35 and Typhoon represent two completely different philosophies of air combat. F-35 philosophy, stealth first. The F-35 is designed to avoid detection. Internal weapons bays where weapons are hidden inside to maintain stealth. Limited external hardpoints where you can't carry many weapons without losing invisibility. The F-35's strength, you can't see it coming. The F-35's weakness, it can only carry 2 to 4 missiles internally. To carry more, it has to expose weapons externally, which breaks stealth. In the Pentagon's vision, stealth solves everything. Invisible equals invulnerable. Typhoon philosophy, raw capability. The Typhoon is designed for high-performance air combat, external hardpoints for weapons, where it can carry 16 or more air-to-air missiles. Highly maneuverable frame designed from the ground up for agility. The Typhoon's strength, it can maneuver and it carries massive firepower. The Typhoon's weakness, It's not stealthy. Enemy can see it on radar. These aren't minor differences. They represent opposite answers to the fundamental question, what wins air combat? Pentagon, stealth, don't be seen. Britain, maneuverability plus firepower, win the fight. For 20 years, Pentagon was confident their answer was correct. Stealth technology was the future. Non-stealth fighters would become obsolete. Britain wasn't convinced. Britain believed maneuverability and weapons load mattered more than stealth. The exercises would prove who was right. In recent years, RAF Typhoons and American F-35s conducted joint war games. Pilots faced off in realistic combat scenarios. The results shocked observers. War game outcome. 1. Typhoon dominance in dogfighting. When Typhoons faced F-35s in close-range dogfights, the Typhoon's maneuverability was untouchable. The F-35 was designed for stealth, not agility. The Typhoon's swept-wing design and powerful engines made it far more maneuverable. In dogfight scenarios, the Typhoon consistently outturned the F-35. American pilots found themselves in a frustrating position. They could see the Typhoon on radar because it's not stealthy, but they couldn't maneuver fast enough to engage effectively. Wargame outcome 2, the Typhoon's weapons load advantage. The Typhoon carries up to 16 air-to-air missiles externally. The F-35 carries 2 to 4 missiles internally. In a multi-bogey scenario, where multiple enemy fighters are present, the Typhoon's weapons load advantage became decisive. The Typhoon could engage multiple targets. The F-35 ran out of missiles quickly and had to maneuver defensively or retreat. Wargame outcome 3, the F-35's stealth became irrelevant. Stealth only works if the enemy doesn't know where you are. In joint operations, the F-35 and Typhoon were flying together. The Typhoon's radar made the F-35's stealth pointless. Allies knew where the F-35 was. And if the Typhoon was already engaged with an enemy, the F-35's stealth didn't help the Typhoon. The F-35 was supporting, not leading. The shocking realization. The Pentagon's $1.7 trillion stealth strategy had a fundamental flaw. In real operations with allies, stealth doesn't provide absolute advantage. A fast, maneuverable fourth-generation jet with massive weapons load beat the expensive fifth-generation stealth jet in actual engagements. Britain had been right, Pentagon had been wrong. After the war games, the RAF made a strategic decision that shocked the Pentagon. The Typhoon would become the primary air defense fighter, the backbone, the main asset. The F-35 would become secondary, a support platform, a carrier-based platform for expeditionary operations. This wasn't just a numbers game, this was an ideology shift. Typhoon as primary defense. Typhoons defend British airspace. Typhoons respond to threats. Typhoons conduct air superiority missions. The Typhoon's maneuverability and weapons load made it superior for this role. F-35 as secondary and support. F-35s launch from carriers for specific missions. They use stealth to approach enemy territory undetected. They gather intelligence. They pass targeting data to Typhoons. In this role, the F-35 is a support platform, not a combat primary platform. Think of it this way. Pentagon vision said F-35 is the future, Typhoons are obsolete. RAF reality, Typhoon is the main defender, F-35 is the support platform. The F-35's stealth makes it useful for reconnaissance and forward deployment, but when combat happens, Typhoon wins the fight. Project Centurion's impact. By modernizing the Typhoon with new radars, new avionics, and new weapons, Britain didn't just update an old jet. Britain created a primary air defense asset that outperformed the most advanced American fighter. The Typhoon's new AESA radar, called Captor-E, gives its sensors competitive with the F-35 sensors.
The Typhoon's new weapons, including Meteor, Brimstone, and Storm Shadow, give it capabilities the F-35 can't match. The result, a complete transformation of RAF air defense, with the F-35 playing a secondary role. Why Pentagon is jealous. America spent $1.7 trillion developing the F-35. They believed stealth was everything. Britain spent billions on upgrades. They believed maneuverability and firepower mattered more. Britain's cheaper approach produced superior results. Pentagon realized they had made a strategic mistake. They had overemphasized stealth. They had underestimated raw capability.
Britain's decision to prioritize the Typhoon signals something important about modern alliances. Britain could have followed Pentagon's stealth doctrine. Britain could have believed that American strategy was correct. Instead, Britain said, "We'll evaluate our own needs. We'll make our own choice." And Britain chose differently. This signals UK military independence. Britain isn't just consuming American strategy. Britain is evaluating American strategy and sometimes rejecting it. What this means. For Britain, UK air defense is now based on British evaluation of threats and British choices about tactics, not Pentagon doctrine. Britain prioritized maneuverability and firepower over stealth at all costs. For America, America's strategic ideas aren't automatically correct. Allies can evaluate American strategy and choose differently. Pentagon's stealth doctrine works for some situations, but not for all situations. For NATO, NATO's air defense is now more diverse. Typhoons and F-35s are complementary, not replacement. This diversity is strategically stronger than homogeneous stealth doctrine. For defense innovation, this proves that non-stealth fighters can remain relevant through modernization. The Pentagon's assumption that stealth makes previous generation fighters obsolete was wrong. Other nations are watching. If Britain can keep Typhoons competitive through modernization, why can't other nations do the same? Let's be specific about why the Typhoon outperforms the F-35 in these critical ways. Maneuverability. The Typhoon can turn at rates the F-35 cannot match. Turn rate is measured in degrees per second. The Typhoon's swept wing design enables higher turn rates. The F-35's stealth design compromises agility. In dogfighting, higher turn rate is a winning advantage. Radar. The Typhoon's new Captor-E AESA radar can detect and track targets at ranges comparable to the F-35's sensors. Contrary to Pentagon assumptions, you don't need stealth to have good sensors. Good radar works fine on non-stealth platforms. Weapons load. 16 air-to-air missiles on the Typhoon versus 2 to 4 internally on the F-35. In multi-threat scenarios, weapons load matters enormously. You can engage more targets, you have more ammunition, you have more flexibility. Operational range. The Typhoon has similar combat radius to the F-35. The Typhoon isn't a short-range platform. It's a long-range air superiority fighter that can operate across entire battlefields. Pentagon wanted to replace the Typhoon with the F-35. Pentagon believed stealth was the future. Britain evaluated both options and chose differently. Britain said, "We'll modernize the Typhoon. We'll keep it as our primary defense. The F-35 will support it." This wasn't a rejection of American capability. This was a rejection of Pentagon's monopoly on strategic thinking. Britain proved something important. An older, fourth-generation fighter, modernized with the latest technology, can outperform a brand-new fifth-generation stealth fighter. Stealth isn't worthless, but stealth isn't everything. Maneuverability, weapons load, operational performance, these matter too. Pentagon spent $1.7 trillion on stealth. Britain spent billions on modernization. Britain got better air defense. That's why Pentagon is jealous. Not of the Typhoon itself, but of the fact that Britain proved Pentagon's grand vision was incomplete. Pentagon believed they had the answer to the future of air combat. Britain proved the answer was more complicated than stealth alone. Comment.
Do you think fourth-generation fighters can remain competitive indefinitely through modernization, or will stealth eventually dominate? Subscribe to Global Strike Matrix for military strategy analysis. Briefing adjourned.